Welcome back to Legacy Her Way, the podcast where women define, build, and live legacy on their own terms. Hi, I'm your host, Tanya Hendrix. Each week, we'll dive into real stories, fresh strategies, and inspiring conversations that help you create a future that reflects who you are and what you value most. This is about legacy, your way. So let's get started. This episode is sponsored by Huntsville Estate Planning Lawyer, where we empower your vision and secure your future through estate planning and trademarks. Let's talk legacy, her way, your way. And today's guest, we talk about building legacy and that of a community. Claire Aiello is the Vice President, Marketing and Communications for the Huntsville Madison County Chamber of Commerce. Claire began her career in journalism, working for WHNT 19 for 17 years before joining the Chamber in 2017. Claire serves as editor-in-chief of Initiatives magazine for the Chamber. She assists companies with various events and helps market the Rocket City to job seekers, families, and potential investors. She interacts with the local media to market various Chamber efforts and workforce initiatives to the community. And she is also a wrestling fan, particularly a fan of Ric Flair.
Where did you get this bio, Tanya? It's right on the money. I mean, it's good.
I did my research.
Go for it. Keep going. This is fun.
Well, welcome to the show, Claire. I'm happy to have you with us. And for any of you interested, there is a photo on the internet of Claire with Ric Flair. And there's a story behind her getting that picture taken. She was out on assignment and got a call back. He was in studio.
I did. Very good. I was right down the hall. I used to work next door at WHNT. Do you want me to tell this story now or later?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay. So I worked next door at WHNT for 17 years, and I was just down the street at the federal courthouse. We were covering the desegregation hearing, which was, like a 5-day thing at least. Well, during that, I got an email from my boss. I was live blogging in the courtroom, and my boss emails me. She goes, "Claire, we're sending someone to switch out with you." I'm like, "What's up? Did I mess up?" She goes, "No, Ric Flair is in the building. He's here recording an advertisement with Conrad Thompson from First Family Mortgage." And I think he married Conrad's family member. But anyway, no, his son did. Anyway, he has a relationship with Conrad. And he's in the building doing an ad, and he's got his robe on and he's got his belt. And I'm like, "Are you serious? Okay, I'll be right there." So I ran down the sidewalk, like just 2 blocks, and I got there, and yeah, he was there. And I met him, and I got my picture with him, and he's just like you see on TV. So you say you never want to meet your heroes, and I'm like, yeah, I can say that's probably true. He was a womanizer, and just like he is on TV as a character. So it was quite funny. But yeah, got my picture with him.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, that's one of the perks of working in television is you have people randomly coming in and out of the studio, and you get to meet your idol.
Yeah. I also have a Flair license plate because when I was in college, I worked at the student radio station, New Rock 90.7 in Tuscaloosa at the University of Alabama. And I remember, so like a lot of the people I hung out with were the guys from the radio station, and they would get the pay-per-views. And I watched wrestling a little bit growing up, but I really watched it with them in college. And I'm like, well, I like Ric Flair. He's fun. So then when I worked in sports later on in Tuscaloosa, the sports guy called me Claire Flair. And so I just kind of went with it, and I got a Flair license plate. I still have it today.
Is it still your license plate, or you just have the one originally?
Oh no, it's still in my car. I have the Flair mobile. Awesome. Yeah. I like Wonder Woman more, so you see now that I've kind of changed to her, but I have Wonder Woman stickers, and I have a tattoo. That's a new thing about me. I got my first tattoo at age 48, and it's Wonder Woman logo on my back shoulder. So anyway, those are my 2 things.
So why Wonder Woman? Because I've read this story too. So but I want the audience
Wonder
to
Woman
hear.
is like, she supports everything I stand up for. Like she fights the bullies. She fights for love. She stands up for all that is good and just, and she doesn't take any crap. And Wonder Woman, I just love her. I love the new one, Gal. She's wonderful. They might have a new actress in the next movie, but I love what she stands for all around. Yeah.
Well, how have you taken that and what you stand for and the love for Wonder Woman, and have you taken that and used it in your position with the chamber?
well, we, we, I mean, I do have posters in my office. It's kind of funny, but people walk in and they're like, "Interesting, Claire." Yeah, I'm like, "Well, okay." Um, I think that we really try to help businesses who come in. We try to advocate for them. We try to help them with various challenges they're facing. We try to connect them with resources that might help. So those are some of the things we do. We meet businesses at different levels. So you might just be forming business. You might be well along your way. You might be further on and you're trying to hire more people. Um, you know, Businesses face different challenges along the way in their chapters, so we help them along the way, whether it's finding resources to help find funding, or marketing their services, or they're expanding, and we might help find them an area to move to, or an area to expand, or people to join their team when they need to add 100 more positions, or say it's a company who's looking at our market. Our economic development division does this kind of work, but they're looking at Huntsville, they're thinking about us as a location, they're not ready to decide yet, but we help them see why this might be a good decision for them, or it might not be. We don't bring every business that looks at Huntsville here. um, we help them with information, but sometimes our companies are a good fit, sometimes they're not. So
Mhm.
we help behind the scenes with a lot of that stuff too.
Well, I know you said help behind the scenes, but you have had a front row seat to some of Huntsville's growth over the last 20 years. So you have been with WHNT, one of the local stations, and now you're with the chamber. Is there anything that stands out as the most exciting about what you have seen?
um, well, it's hard to say. Well, I think we've seen a lot of moments along the way, and it's a very exciting time now because a lot is coming together. But I think there's a theme that resonates through the years, really since the 50s, over the decades. Huntsville has always worked together to achieve progress and make things happen. Um, you don't see that in every community, and we hear that time and time again from companies who come here, or military commands who come here. We hear time and time again, Huntsville is unique. um, we have not seen this way of thinking in other communities, where you all work together, and you might have some challenges along the way with that, but you work that out before it's time to go and work with the company or bring them here. We really do. It's row in the same direction.
Mhm.
It's a blessing to live in a community like that, where we see the goal and we work towards it together. We don't have fighting along the way. A lot of communities have lost out on things because they've they've had infighting, or they go to make an ask of the state legislature and they're not on the same page about where it should be. Before we even go to make an ask of an organization, or the state or the Senate, we make sure we're all on the same page about our message,
Mhm.
and we know that something for our community benefits all of us, whether it's for Huntsville or for Madison or for Madison County. We know that it's going to benefit our entire community, and we think with that mentality here.
Do have a follow-up to that because we are experiencing some changes in leadership locally. Mayor Finley is now leaving Madison City. There's a new mayor that's been elected.
Mhm.
Mayor Battle he just got reelected. Don't know if he will run for reelection in the future, if this is going to be his last term. So things are shifting and changing in the political landscape, and even with so many people moving into the area. So you've got this kind of struggle between those who are raised here and don't want to see any changes, and those who are like, we're united and moving forward. With the change in some of the leadership and then some of the people who are saying we don't want any more changes, do you foresee some of that unity splitting? I mean, I know you don't have a crystal ball, but do you think that, because you may or may not know some of the new leaders coming in, but do you think there's still going to be this group working together, or are you concerned that there may be some splintering along the way?
Well, I think with every administration that comes forth, we have people in our building who work on this very thing and make sure that we engage our different elected leaders if there are new faces that come on board. But so we have people who actively work that and invite them to luncheons that we host where we hear from our elected leaders and we encourage our membership to engage, whether it's whether they're the businesses that come or the elected leaders from our cities and our counties and our school boards that come. um, I think we invite them to be part of the conversation early on, and we invite them to come and hear from, whether it be Senator Britt or Congressman Strong or the governor. We invite them to be part of the conversation so they're informed on the issues that affect our area. Um, we meet with them often. A lot of the people you mentioned, like the new mayor in Madison, she's been a council member and a school board member prior to that for several years. Mayor-elect Bartlett is very familiar with our community. She's familiar with Huntsville, with Madison County, and Madison, of course. She was elected overwhelmingly. So we look forward to working with her. She's been engaged on our Montgomery trip, on our DC trip, I believe. So she's very familiar with what our three communities do. Mayor Battle has a long legacy of serving here, so I think that it'll be interesting to see what happens in the coming years. I'm not sure what his what he plans to do next term, but Huntsville's going to be fine. Huntsville, we have a lot of good leaders in various positions who will step up. We have people in the community who care about moving us forward and maybe running for those positions. We'll see what happens. But we look forward to working with them and sharing what makes our community tick. Whether they're just a engaged person now or in office now, we'll continue to work with them and put out that spirit of cooperation.
When you look back
That's a great question. It's a great question.
When you look back on your trajectory from when you were in college at the University of Alabama to now, what led you into this kind of work?
I'm sorry, I'm trying to silence my phone. I just alerted my phone instead of hitting do not disturb. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, I'm sorry. You said from when I was in college to now.
Yeah, what drew you into so you started out in journalism,
Mm-hmm.
and now you're working for the chamber, I guess quasi journalism, because you're in the marketing, communications department. So what drew you into this, and specifically working for the chamber where you're marketing the city? I mean, you're marketing the county and the community. What led you into that?
Honestly, I fell into the role. So this is a little background on me. When I was in news for 20 years. So 17 of them here, 3 in Tuscaloosa right after college. So 3 there, then I moved up here, 17 years. And I had done it for 20 years. And it was a great, great chapter in my career, a long chapter. But I was ready for something new. I was ready to I could tell that it was affecting my family, my health, my sanity. I would miss things with my family. When you work in news, you miss things. You miss snow days. You miss severe weather days. You miss the first tooth falling out when your son goes down a snowy hill and there goes his first tooth. And Joey sends you a picture. And my husband, wonderful, Joey. But I was ready for a change. So I worked with my boss. And that's one thing, one bit of advice I have for people listening. If you're going to leave a job and you have the opportunity to work with your manager to have a good exit strategy, do that, because they will. It was a situation where I know that not everybody has that opportunity, but she gave me time to look for what was right for me. She could tell that I wasn't happy. She could tell that I was going through some challenges with just working in news. But anyway, I was able to kind of look and see what was out there, but also develop a success plan for my next person, succession plan for the next person in the role. So all that to say, it gave me time to look, and I found a job right next door at the chamber. It's not my current role. I actually moved into a role that was kind of event planning related, where because I could name my senator and my congressman and my state senator and my city council person for my district, because I worked in news all those years and I knew what was happening and who was representing us. Because I could name those people, the people in my interview were like, well, she could work in this role that we have open right now. And so they put me in government affairs, where I kind of help the government affairs VP do the various luncheons that we do, the trips that we do. And I moved into that role. That was great. I learned a different topic. I learned about different things in that role. But about 6 to 8 months down the road, this role opened up, and the person who was in it was leaving for another job. So my CEO kind of talked with me once, maybe twice, maybe three times about, Claire, you would be good at this. Claire, I want you to think about this. And I can see why they're lobbyists, because they're
Yeah.
very good at that. And he kind of just let me think about it, gave me time. I actually helped interview some of the people who were applying for this role.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I just thought to myself as I was doing those things, like, okay, Claire, you just need to jump at this. You just need to go for it. Why are you so scared? Why are you avoiding this? This is a world that you know. And part of me was like, I liked the change that I was in. I liked the new, I got to do a lot of new things.
Hmm.
But it came to me like, you know what, Claire, you'll still get to do a lot of those things. And you'll get to do a lot of the things you're familiar with. And you can put your skills from 20 years to work, and writing and social media. And, you know, one of the funny things about me is I believe I can talk to a brick wall. I can. And then I can also answer the brick wall. My point is, I'm a friendly person, and I can talk to anybody.
Uh-huh.
And I can make them feel welcome. That's a skill that I have to have in this current job. And it's fine. It's a lot of fun. I get to meet all kinds of people. And so I could put a lot of those skills to work in this new role. So that's kind of how I fell into this role. But yes, as you mentioned, I do get to market Huntsville, and it's pretty cool. It really is. This is a great time to be in this role. I get to work with people from a lot of different companies as they have announcements, as they announce jobs, as they announced grants for our school system.
Hmm.
We have a lot of companies in this town who give back, and that's really one of the really cool things about Huntsville.
Nice.
They know that our schools are bringing up our future workforce, and they
Hmm.
want them to know about them. They want them to Toyota wants them to know about them. Mazda Toyota wants them to know about them. Lockheed Martin wants them to know about them. Leidos, Raytheon, you can keep naming them down the list. They want our students today and our teachers to be supported, and they want them to know that, hey, we've got openings for you 5, 10 years down the road. We're going to keep growing. We want you to think of Huntsville when you're done with high school, when you're done with college, or when you're done with a 2-year degree from Calhoun or Drake State. We want
Hmm.
you to think about us down the road here at Toyota or Raytheon, or any of these companies. So this is a great town where we have a lot of that, um, a lot of those dynamics at play. Did that answer your question in a 8 minute
It
long?
it did, and I mean, it opened up so many other questions, but one I really was kind of segue into. I mean, you are building not just your own legacy through your work, but also the legacy of this community. Have you given that consideration? Have you realized that that's what you were doing as you were, you just kind of fell into this role and this position?
Well, that's very nice of you to say. I see that somewhat, but we are a team here. I want to make sure we know that your viewers and listeners know that we have 28 people in this building who are working on that together, and we're working on that with our elected leaders, with our business leaders, with our community leaders. So it is a team approach from inside this building and out. Um, we do it together. It's not one person. That's for real. It's not one person.
So,
But it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun doing what we do. Yeah.
well, but you've made your mark at the chamber and your role and your position. I know it's a team effort, and I applaud you for saying we're a team. We're not, because you have to. I mean, you can't be an individual, because
Right.
as you talked about, the community at large works together, everybody. And so if the chamber is leading that effort, so y'all have to be unified as well. So I do applaud you for saying it's a team effort, but you have you have poured into the chamber yourself for a number of years.
Yeah.
And what you are doing is part of that legacy building effort that the chamber as a whole is building. So
Thank
pat yourself on the back. You've done a great
thank
job.
you. Thank you. Thank you, Tanya.
Staying with legacy, so the chamber that y'all have right now, you said the 28 employees there, the 28 people in that building
Approximately. Yeah, they might
who
give or take a few. Yeah.
work together for the benefit of the community. What do you hope the chamber's legacy will be when guiding the growth of Huntsville and Madison County?
Um, well, it's hard to know. I mean, I thought about a lot of these questions for me personally, but I just, I want our community to know that they're supported. I want them to know that there's job opportunities for them here. If they want to work, there's job opportunities. Um, and we're here to help them learn about them. Sometimes they just need a little help learning about them.
Mhm,
Um, Others, like right now, there's some people who are looking for work in our community for sure.
mhm,
We've had some budget cuts with the federal government. We've had people who have been underemployed for a while who are looking for, instead of maybe 2 or 3 jobs, they're looking for one job that pays enough to put food on the table. Um,
mhm,
we want our community to know that there's opportunity for them, and we're here to help. We're here to help bring employers to the room so that people can meet with them. One of the events we do that means the most to me, and we do it twice a year, it's called the Relaunch Job Fair, and it's meant to help people who are unemployed or underemployed launch themselves again. And we put 35 companies in the room, and we encourage people who come to walk around and meet with all of them. Some people come and they are nervous. Some people come and they need a little help getting started. We're there to help with that. This is a specific event that we do at First Baptist Church twice a year, but we'll walk around with them and say, "Hey, this is someone from Wilson Lumber. Hey, this is someone from Huntsville Hospital. This is someone from Calhoun Community College. If you want to get an additional degree or go back to school," and we'll have 30, 40 employers or schools like that in the room ready to help people. This is a community of helpers. And I
mhm,
guess that when you talk about legacy and the community, I want our community to know that there are resources here to help them. They just have to ask. They just have to take that step and ask. So,
mhm. Okay, so we're gonna back it up and just focus in on you.
okay.
We did the team approach. So now for you personally, what is it that you want remembered or known about your own legacy in guiding the growth?
Well, when it comes to my family, I would say that I want my 2 kids. So I have a 17-year-old son in high school. He's a senior, and then a 20. She's 19. She'll be, God, she's 20. They just grow up so fast. She's 20. She's at University of Alabama studying nursing. Um, their names are Nick and Elena, and I want them to know that I love them, that their father loves them. We are so proud of them, and we want them to know that they were put on this earth to help people. Um, Whether that's through their career or through a personal experience. We want them to know that, just to be good humans and stick up for people who might need a hand up, um, speak up for people who might not have a voice. Um, just be good humans. That's kind of what I was thinking about. What I want my legacy to be for my kids. I want them to speak up for people who need their assistance because they have a voice, and use it. Use it well. Use it wisely.
And that's kind of going back to what Wonder Woman does.
That's right. I didn't even plan that. That's correct. We are the
So
same person. No, I'm kidding.
we never see the two of you at the same time.
Somebody bought me a kitchen towel that says that. It says, "We never see you in the same room." Give me a break. Yeah, it's sweet.
So speaking of your children and you're wanting them,
My
you're
kids
instilling
think I'm a dork, by the way, but that's what most kids think their parents are at this age.
I was about to say every kid thinks their parents a dork.
I'm a
So
total dork, and I know I am. So,
so what are you doing? I know you said that you want your children to to understand that they're on earth to help people, to serve people, to stick up for people, to speak for people. What are you doing intentionally in their lives or throughout their lives that have taught them those things?
Oh, um, I don't know a great answer to that right now. I would, without getting political, um, there are some things on the news right now that concern me, and they know that. They know that there's some things happening that we should be vigilant about.
Mhm.
Um, and you have to raise your hand and ask questions, and don't just accept that things are normal right now. And I'll just kind of leave it at that right now.
But you have, I mean, you and Joey, and just for full disclosure, everybody, Claire's husband Joey and I went to law school together. I
Mhm.
graduated law school together. But you and Joey
Roll
have
Tide.
raised them. Yeah, roll tide. You and Joey have raised them
Mhm.
in a way that you are. I mean, in your job, what you have done through the news is you have brought light to situations,
Yeah.
and you have gone above and beyond. There's a story when I did my research on you. There's a story where there was someone who needed, I can't remember what it was now, someone who needed something, and you went out of your way to make sure they got it, and then went even further because I think they needed to get to the hospital or something, and you went even further to make sure they got. I have to go back and find that. I can't remember it now. But it was above and beyond like doing a story. Like you didn't, it wasn't something that you would normally cover as a reporter. You were just, you
Yeah.
saw somebody in need and you helped them.
Yeah.
And so I know that that's part of your story and your legacy. And now you are still doing that with the chamber and helping businesses grow. So
Mhm.
I would assume and I would think that even maybe if it's not intentional, your children you have modeled that to your children. So I guess you and Joey both have.
Yes.
So
Nick is about to be an Eagle Scout. Our son is about to make his Eagle Scout.
wow.
Hopefully next week. Hopefully, no pressure, Scout leaders, but he's done his project and he has his board of review coming up. So we're helping him through the steps of getting to that. Really, he's doing the work, but we're ensuring that it happens. Wink, wink. Um, as you have to do with 17-year-old boys, but he's very close on that, and I'm very proud that he's achieved that long, hard goal. Um, and our daughter is she's 20. She's in nursing school. She's a junior. She's got a big test today. Had a big test yesterday, big test today. So she's working hard to do that. So one of the things that's really cool. So in my job, I get to hear about different opportunities and workforce programs that our companies are doing. And so I saw Elena go through it at Grissom. She's a product
Mhm.
of Grissom High School. Um, she was in the health sciences pathway. So our city schools and all our schools, our public schools have health pathways, or no, different pathways like computer science, culinary, computer, health science. So they can choose like 10 to 12 different pathways and learn if this might be a career they want to go into. So she chose the health pathways. She got to work in Huntsville Hospital, wear her tan scrubs as a high school student, and see some of the gross things, see some of the wonderful things, but also make sure that she could handle some of the gross things.
Yeah.
Um, and she did. She did very well with it. Other students that you hear about, oh, she passed out today. Oh, he passed out today, but I didn't pass out, mom. So I got to see pictures of her, and then when Leadership Greater Huntsville or other groups would visit Grissom, they'd have different students come talk to them about the pathways. And somebody sent me a picture of her in her tan scrubs talking with her class, like
Oh,
her
nice.
leadership class. I'm like, that made me really proud. That made me really
Nice.
proud. So I guess I'm enjoying seeing them grow up, but also it's bittersweet. But they're also like they're growing into their own right now,
Yeah.
and we're proud of them.
Well, and that's quite an accomplishment for, one, for your daughter to be in nursing school. I know that's very
It's hard.
difficult.
It's hard.
But then now your son is about to be an Eagle Scout, which is a difficult process. So that's incredible. So congratulations on that.
You just got to keep showing up with scouts. You got to keep showing up, and the leaders are there to help you. If
Hmm.
there's boys who come at it, or it's now BSA, so it's different troops have boys and girls, but um, the leaders. We have great scout leaders in our troop at Holy Spirit Church, and they will work with the guys. They will hey, meet me. They'll meet them where they are, and They'll make sure okay, let's check off these requirements. Let's get to where we need to be. And
Mhm.
it's a wonderful troop that we've been part of. And Joey's been one of the leaders. So I'm very thankful that he's been so active in Nick's scouting life.
Good.
And we're going to get the magnets for the back of our car that say proud Eagle parent. We are so close. I'm going to go buy them next week. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Well, I look forward to seeing an update on that because
Okay.
I'm sure what was his project, by the way?
He worked with the land trust. He built a
Okay.
bridge, and he had a great helper from the land trust who worked with us like on the different steps. And Mr. Rick was wonderful. But it's
Very
a
good.
footbridge. A creek had developed, and they needed, people were having to hop over it, and it just got
Uh-huh.
too wide to hop over. So it's down. It's on Green Mountain. It's just past the nature trail behind one of the new neighborhoods.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
10-foot long by 5-foot wide bridge. I was there. I helped build it.
Nice.
Yeah, it
Nice.
was a lot of fun that day.
Just a family effort.
Yes. Yes, for
Which
sure.
all of it was. All of it was. Getting him to scouts and everything through the years was a family effort.
Yes. Yes.
So when you think about your own story, what is one piece of wisdom about building a legacy that you want to pass on to anyone listening today?
Um, you know, okay. This is something my boss told me back when I started this job, my CEO. Um, you don't have to say yes to everything. And I know that sounds a little selfish, but you have to protect your health first and foremost, or you can't be any good to yourself or anyone else. You have to be okay saying no on some things, because you can say yes on the things that matter. There will be other people that step up in other areas, hopefully, but say yes to the things that matter,
Mhm.
and protect your health. Don't work yourself to death. It's not that, you have to protect your health, period. So
Mhm.
I'm glad he came in here. And I still remember the day he came in and told me, it's Claire, you can't say yes to everybody. You can't. You're going to drive yourself crazy. And so, yeah, he was right. I was doing it. And I think the next week I resigned from 1 or 2 boards. It was great. Other people can step up. There's plenty of other people in this community who can step up and do it. So
Yes.
that's a tip I have. But put yourself out there for sure, because
Mhm.
it's important to get involved and do things that make a difference. And there's plenty in this community that you can get involved in. Plenty.
Yes.
I don't want to hear these people say there's nothing to do here. That's over. That's done. It's not
Yeah.
true.
There's plenty to do. There are plenty of things to get involved in, and I'll just reiterate the saying no. I think that answer has been that I know that's been the number one answer of every one of my guests. Every one of my guests on this podcast has said something to the effect of no is a complete sentence. Don't say yes to everybody. And it's to this question, what advice would you give? And so for those of you listening, if you've listened to every episode, you know what I'm saying. Everybody, these are some amazing women that are telling you it's okay to say no. You
It
gotta
is
say yes
great.
to everything and
It
everybody.
feels great. Also, it feels great to say no. I know that sounds selfish, but it feels great.
It does,
You can
because
just
when
move on.
you're saying no to something that when you're saying no to something, it is saying yes to yourself, but it's also saying yes, maybe there's something else that you wanna say yes to, that if you said yes to this thing, you couldn't say it to that next thing.
Right.
So,
Feels great.
there's yeah,
Practice it with me. No. No, I'm sorry. No.
and
It's
it's a
a
complete
it's a
sentence. You don't
wonderful
have
it's
to
a
give an
wonderful it's a
explanation.
wonderful feeling to say no. It is.
So other than saying no, is there anything else that you wish more women knew they could do? Maybe something you're doing now that you wish more women knew they could do?
Okay, so I think you need to start early. I'm talking about building wealth here. Not that we have it, but my point is start early in your first job. You may not make much. I didn't make much working in journalism. God, no. But if you can put into your 401k what you can, try to max it. Try to do that max amount if you can. Because if the company does the match, that will really pay off you will really start to see the dividends of that um, in your midlife and then later on in life. You're gonna be very thankful that you did that from the get-go. So that's a piece of advice that someone told me, and I read it all over the place, and it's true. It really is
Mhm.
true. Um, pack your lunch. If it means packing your lunch 3-4 days a week to be able to make that, do it. It matters. It
Yeah.
matters because I really want to be able to retire in my early 60s, hopefully.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm hoping to be on track to do that.
Very good. Nice. Very good. Yep.
I don't
And
know. We'll see.
also,
But then you also have to check in with your financial planner twice a year, at least once a year, but really twice a year. It is just as important as your annual doctor's checkup or
uh-huh.
your dentist checkup or your eye checkup. You got to meet with your financial planner. Have one. Don't try to, my advice is I'm not a financial person, so I don't feel comfortable doing it on my own, looking at all these
Right.
numbers. Go see somebody. Your work probably offers that service, maybe at a basic level, but you can get in with one of these companies. They're the experts. Don't feel like you have to figure all this out on your own. They can help you.
Exactly. Go to those who know what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's what they're trained to do. That's what they're experts in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in not trying to DIY everything
No.
because you only have so much bandwidth,
Right.
and that's not your area. If it's
And
not
they'll
your
they'll
area,
take a percentage of what you make. You're not having to write them a check every year.
right.
They're taking they know how to work it, trust me. But they'll make it work for you. They really will. So it's one of the best meetings I do every year, and I walk out saying, okay, feel good about where we are. Or we've had some challenges this year, but I still feel like we're on track. Yeah.
Very good. Well, thank you so much, Claire, for joining us today on Legacy Her Way. And I want to thank all of you for listening. If today's conversation spoke to you, share it with a friend and make sure you subscribe to the podcast. So please subscribe so you never miss an episode. This has been Legacy Her Way. Share it, subscribe, and most of all, keep defining your legacy your way. Thank you.